Hello everyone and welcome to a reading wrap-up. Finally, I finally got a readathon done. So what I am going to do is, even though like this one I'm going to talk about today took place in January, I'm going to continue on until I complete all the prompts for the readathon. So I'm not doing this for points, I'm doing this very laid back, things like that. And since I'm not doing it for points, I thought let's just challenge myself to do this. Now this particular group, this was on Bridge 4 Books. It's on Discord. I will link this in the description box. They, this one is like based off of a game board, and it's to connect. So the first book you read will connect to the second book. The second book connects to the third book. The third book connects to the fourth book until you have a chain of 5 books that all connect in some way. And this was the January round based off of Monopoly, so these are based off of games. The one for February is based off of Sorry, and that one, I am filming this on February 26th, and I am not done with the February one yet. Let me see, where am I on it? I think I've only completed, I've only completed one prompt on it, I believe. And because the second one I have to find a book published by the same publisher. So it's just going to take a little extra longer. So yeah, I've only completed one prompt for February, but I'm going to keep trying to fulfill that until I've completed that one, and then I'll put out a video. So in this case, something like a readathon that only took place in January, maybe the wrap-up video won't come out until August. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, I just want to try to complete all of the prompts. So let's go ahead and get into this one. This one was Connect 5, based off of Monopoly, hosted by Bridge 4 Books. The 2 rules I will stick to on these ones from Bridge 4 Books are the following 2 rules. The books must be middle grade or older, so nothing like a children's book. It has to be middle grade or older. And it has to be a minimum of 150 pages. Now I think there is one, it's either in this one or another one, where the book is more than 150, but I go off of the pages of the actual story. So I don't include acknowledgments or about the author, or if there's excerpts from another book, I don't include that stuff. I go off of the actual story. So there is one, it's either in one of these ones from Bridge 4 Books or in another one where it is a 150 page minimum, but the actual story is 149 pages. So I'll give myself a little wiggle room. I won't go less than 145. So, 148 to something like that I will include. Let's see. All the books on this one do meet the threshold. So 5 prompts, 5 books completed. I'm going to move over because some of these are ebooks. So prompt number 1 was to read a book with a location in the title. So for this one, I went with a library book. It has since been returned to the library. I read That Night in the Library. So this one was written by Eva. I have no idea how to say the last name, so I'm just going to say Eva. Okay. I gave this one 3 stars. It was 270 pages, and the audiobook that I listened to along with this was 8 hours and 29 minutes. This one for me personally was just okay. It does have a lower rating on Goodreads. This for me would have been a lower 3 stars, so more on the lower end. Just so you're aware, for me it felt like it just dragged too much. Anyway. So again, 3 stars, 270 pages, 8.29 hours. So book number 2, the prompt is, book number 2 has the same number of words in the title as book number 1. So book number 1 was That Night in the Library, so 5 words. So book number 2 that I went with is Looking After Your Autistic Self. This is a nonfiction book. This one, I gave 4 stars. It was 243 pages by, I'm guessing it's Neve Garvey. I could be saying that wrong, But it says this is a personalized self-care approach to managing your sensory and emotional well-being. I did find quite a few, and the reason why I gave it 4 stars, it wasn't like it was entertaining by any means, but there were a lot of good points in this book. So this, again, I gave 4 stars. It was 243 pages. There was no audiobook available when I read this. So some of the stuff like on this one is sensory integration is the process of collecting information through our senses, organizing that information and responding to the information appropriately. The steps of sensory integration include taking information in, sorting information out, processing information, planning how to react, and reacting. Autistic people have a greater tendency to have difficulties with sensory integration when compared to non-autistic people. So there was a lot of interesting stuff that I was able to apply to my life. There's one chapter in this that I completely skipped because it's about being autistic, having sensory needs, and having a sex life, and how to communicate with your partner. I am currently not sexually active. I don't have a partner, so for me, that chapter didn't apply to me. Now, later on in my life, 5 years from now, I may pick this back up if I have a partner and we start to engage in sexual activities at some point. If that does happen in my life, then I can pick this up and read that chapter. So you don't have to read every single chapter, but I did find a lot of good stuff to underline in this that I thought was either interesting or was able to apply to my life. So, and then let's see, prompt number 3 is, book number 3 is a different genre than book number 2. So the genre for this one is nonfiction, so pretty much any fiction I can do. So I went with Death in Dark Blue, which is a cozy mystery, definitely a different genre. Because this one, if I want to be more specific than just nonfiction, this would be classified, I believe, as self-help. And then where this one is not self-help, this is a cozy mystery. So Death in Dark Blue by Julia Buckley. I gave this one 5 stars, 276 pages. The audio, I gave this one 5 stars, yes. Yeah, 276 pages. And this one was 7 hours and 53 minutes on standard 1x speed for the audiobook. I started confusing myself, thinking I was giving you the information for the previous book again. So this one, we are following... Oh, what is her name? I forget her name. Lena. I wanted to say like Carly or something, and I knew that wasn't right. So Lena is has moved in to this residence of this author that she absolutely adores, this author's work, named Camilla. They become very good friends. I almost said the author's name. Lena it becomes an apprentice to this author, and the story helps with editing, things like that. So, and Lena wants to become a writer. She has a special interest in this book, and we are following the events of the first book. There is another murder. It's your standard cozy mystery. The main character inserts themselves into the investigation to clear the name of the person that they care for. So, and that is this book. And I have a great time with cozy mysteries. They're quick, they're fun. I don't take them seriously. You don't need to worry about there being rough language. Sometimes there will be some swearing, like goodness, shit, damn, hell, that type of a thing. But nothing like, I've never seen the F-bomb in any cozy mystery. So sometimes there'll be a little swearing. This does have a sex scene in it, but it is a fade to black. So if there is sex in cozy mysteries, it is fade to black if it's in there at all. A regular mystery could become sexually explicit. It just depends on the books. So, just so you are aware. But I love it. It's a cozy mystery, and I really enjoy them. Okay, so prompt number 4 says that book 4 has to be published in the same year as book number 3. So this book was published in 2017. So the book that I went with was a gift from Amy from A Star Reads. I will link Amy's channel in the description box. This one was a great gift, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. And this is another nonfiction, and this one is The Little Book of Luca by Mike Wicking. So this is just a nonfiction. I would not classify this one as self-help, although it could be considered self-help because it's just about trying to be a little bit more happy and enjoying life a little bit more, when not to take things so seriously. Something I underline is how you feel about your life is what counts. You are the best judge of whether you are happy or not. So in other words, don't let people tell you how to feel. Let's see. These days, it is easier to notice the fighting rather than what is fine. It is easy to point towards the gray skies and dark clouds, but perhaps we all need to be more like Samwise, the stout-hearted, which is from a book by, it says, like Tolkien, Hemingway once wrote. So something about Hemingway. Let's see. So we need to be more like this character and see what is good in this world of ours. And books are wonderful idea spreaders. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one, and this is the second book, nonfiction book I've read from this author. I highly recommend if you want a nonfiction to kind of, that's a little bit more kind of like uplifting, but almost self-help, but doesn't really feel like a self-help in a way. That's the vibe I get. Then I recommend Wicking. I actually did order a third book because I'm like, whenever I'm ready, I want to be able to pick up a book from this author. So this is one. This is an author that I always want to have one on deck and eventually own all of their works. Okay. The final prompt says book 5 is a different format than book number 4. So this is a physical book. So this one, next one, I read an ebook. And the book that I read is Castle of Wizardry. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 375 pages, 13 hours and 4 minutes on standard one-time speed, written by David Eddings. This is book number 3 or 4 in the Belgariad series, which is a fantasy, young adult epic fantasy series. Book number 1 does have on the cover saying it's a coming of age. I would agree with that. The main character that we are following starts out kind of like as a teenager at some point, like 15, 14, something like that. And by the end of the book, he's an adult. By the end of the series, he's an adult. There are 5 books in this series. And I found this series thoroughly enjoyable, like so much so that I decided to get the physical copies so I can go back and reread it and actually underline a lot of good things that I couldn't do in my ebook. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to rereading these at some point. More than likely, I doubt it would be this year, but at some point in the future, I will definitely be rereading this series. So for these 5s, that's it. Those are all of the prompts. Those are the books that I read. So I completed this grouping of prompts for the Connect 5 Readathon January edition from Bridge 4 Books on February 19th. So that is a total of 1,449 pages, 33 hours and 53 minutes listened to, 21 stars issued with 5 books. So it took me 50 days. So the things average out to be a 4.2 star rating, average rating per book. Amongst the 50 days, it was about 28.98, so almost 29 pages read per day if I did, just did this over the 50 days. But amongst just the 5 books, it works out to be 289.8 pages per book. So that is the Monopoly round of the Connect 5 from Bridge 4 Books. Let me know, did you participate in this readathon, or are you participating in other ones? Bridge 4 Books does host quite a few of the readathons. Definitely let me know if you're participating in any of them, and have you read any of these books or from any of these authors before? Definitely let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.